along those lines if you want to.
Explainium.
Okay, so what if we conceived of my... Okay, well, first of all, I don't believe in immaterial things, so I'd conceive of everything.
I don't believe in immaterial things. Now, got to give it to Jay for just holding off on that one, because I would have put the stick right in the wheel. Wouldn't have been a conversation. Would have been a shit show. But whatever kind of will
hey Mike,
Jay
Are you playing something, or is that one of my feeds? Oh, you were. Okay.
I commend him for. I don't believe in anything immaterial.
you're getting critiqued right now.
You couldn't make the statement.
Oh, really?
Without the
By this bozo?
Yeah.
This Baker?
Yeah, right. You're getting smoked. I told you not to do this.
I'm getting
And you
smoked.
did it anyway.
Oh, I don't think I'm getting smoked.
Jim Bob's gonna blast you, dude. I told you not to do this. I warned you.
Oh my God, Jim Bob couldn't smoke his own ass, man.
Yeah, well, maybe you don't know what's happening, but you got delayed for a day, and I was trying to comment on the side that you probably shouldn't do this.
Do what?
Do this critique.
Which
now critique? You got Jim Bob. Oh my gosh, really? The one that you did?
Oh, on Dyer? On Jay Dyer?
Yeah, he's going over the video that you did with Captive Desk now.
Jim Bob's kind of like dime store Dyer. I mean, he's even worse, right? He's about like maybe 1/10 of what Dyer knows.
So, I know Dyer is very well educated. Jim Bob knows
not educated enough to know better. I mean, he's sort of stuck in this Platonism bullshit from 3,000 years ago, and no, I'm not impressed with either one of them. So I really don't think what you guys think getting smoked is Jim Bob playing memes and saying a bunch of stuff that you don't really understand, you haven't really thought about.
Is that right?
You think he knows what he's talking about.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad we cleared that up. Maybe you should try to listen to him closely and see what, try to gather the concepts he's driving at.
I listen to everybody closely, even you. I mean, I pick your, I print your stuff out and I format it and I color it.
Yeah, you printed out you did the transcript of, I watched some of this and you did the transcript. Right. And he wrote down what the guy said and put it on the whiteboard to make the clarification if there was any problem. He put it up to the screen and said, this is what you said here, and this is what you said after that. He laid it out for him, and you still went after the transcript. It didn't make sense.
Oh, my God. Jim Bob is featuring me. Oh, my God. I'm so thrilled.
Say if we had a sort of definition of mind along the lines of
I
set of relationships between material things, and then we consider things like
relationships between material things are not material.
No.
Game over.
Right.
Go.
Game over. Oh, game over.
Are relationships material?
He just asserted that. Yes, they are.
The relationships are material.
Right, because of time and space. You guys didn't listen. You didn't get it. You're not getting it. Okay, until you can get it. You can't just assert, oh, it's not material. This is not material. That's not material. You can't just make the assertion. You have to come up with an argument for it.
Well, okay, well, the assertion is that by you, as you've just stated, that relationships are material. So what material are they?
What material are they? The material that is the material of the two things that are related plus space-time. So space-time is kind of like a material. It's kind of like a fabric. It has a metric. It has a particular, like, okay, if you're 1 mile from the store, okay, and you have to walk there, not a big deal, right? But what if you're 1,200 miles from the store and you have to walk there to get lunch? Is that a big deal?
Okay, so this is the material that relationships are?
Yeah, the stuff of structure in space-time is what we're talking about. And that's just our particular, I mean, you can take the transcendental approach and you can start looking at space-time a little differently. That maybe it's a human thing that we've digested it that way, but nevertheless, there is something there that makes a difference between 1 mile and 1,200 miles.
Mhm.
Where is Lionheart? I've got a thing.
I'm waiting on him, and I'm just waiting on him, man. And
Okay.
that's my bad for
okay.
me being
Yeah, you
late.
can play. You play Jim Bob for a while, and I'll mute.
Well, no, I mean, I was giving you the chance to kind of critique it as he does it, if you want to. I mean,
No, I don't do things that way. Like I say, I'll get the transcript and I'll go through and I'll find all the holes in it. And
I mean,
later on,
I might be able to help you out here as a middleman. I hear what Jay Dyer's saying, and I hear what Jim Bob has.
Yeah, go. Yeah,
saying.
maybe you can translate.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm trying to do here. I'm
translate this
pretty
Eastern
much agree with
Orthodox.
Jim Bob. Oh my gosh, Mike! Can I speak for a second?
Yeah.
Let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready.
Okay, I when I listen to Jim Bob, I don't like his style. He's an entertainer, a performer, and he ridicules everything. I get that. It's annoying, but the substance of what he's bringing forth speaks to me. I think he's correct on most counts of what he's doing. Jay Dyer has a more orthodox approach. He's more in tune with the scriptures and the teachings. But Jim Bob does understand the philosophy. He's merely asking how you're accounting for these abstractions. Like when you say relationships are physical, we can talk about things within a relationship and point to things and point to particulars, but we're not getting to the alleged substance of what we're calling relationship. Seems to be an abstraction. So that's what he's pointing.
Go on.
Like logic, because obviously I wouldn't say logic's immaterial. I'd say it's a material thing, but it's not.
Really? You'd say logic is a material thing.
Right. And you would say that as well, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. What material is it?
Oh, by the way, thank you for saying that about Jim Bob, that you don't appreciate his style, because I think his style really gets in the way. And I think Jay Dyer does to a degree too, because he was making fun of this guy while he was talking to him.
Yeah.
And I really don't care for that, I guess. So
yeah, I don't either. If you're gonna critique somebody, follow the material. But Jim Bob's obviously an entertainer. He enjoys that, but it's gonna probably come back to him at some point, unfortunately.
I mean, doesn't it seem kind of mean-hearted,
Yeah, it does sometimes. And Jay Dyer's a goofball too. It's the thing about when you're searching for what you know to be true is it's not necessarily that you like the people that are professing it. Sometimes you follow what you think is true. And if I don't know either of these guys personally, but I know they're both goofballs, but what they say resonates with me for the most part, both of them. So when you come into the idea of logic, and you call it a physical concept, that's going to be problematic. It definitely is. I mean, we're talking about an abstract idea here, and you're coming from a physicalist perspective. So what is it? Where in space and time is logic?
Yeah, that's the thing you've got to understand, is there is a physicalist perspective. And the physicalist perspective isn't that there's just this matter stuff laying around, right? And everything is like matter, okay? That's not the entire physical universe, okay? There's matter, there's energy. In fact, matter is something like, if you imagine little bumps on a big sheet of paper, like the quantum field, these little, like if you were to stick your finger up through a rubber sheet, it would sort of poke up, and it would, go off on the sides. I mean, that's kind of like what matter's like. But for practical purposes, we can talk about particles in space-time. But you can never forget the space-time, because the space-time has more to do with it than perhaps the matter itself. Okay? And so when you're talking about what physical things are, they never are just all by themselves. Okay? That is not true. They can't be. They have to be. They are something at some particular point in time and space. So, I mean, it's really important distinction. And a lot of atheists don't get this. Okay. A lot of people don't get this. So anyway, but
Yeah,
but let's
I'm trying to listen to you.
You're gonna wear me out on this topic, and I'm not going to talk to evolution talk about evolution with Lionheart. So I think we should just passively listen, and you can comment. I'll try to keep my mouth shut. Okay? How about that?
Well, I mean, yeah, it's up to you. I think the comments are going to be questions to you ultimately. Like when I just asked you what material logic was, it seems like a silly question, but I think you didn't get us anywhere. I was trying to listen to you, but you didn't explain where logic is in the physical world.
Yeah, I didn't, but I started to. I started way back at the beginning, and then we have to go a little. We have to go a little ways before we get there. But you see, that's why we should just listen, because none of this stuff is simple. None of this stuff is going to be short answers. So,
okay,
let's listen to Jim.
Very fascinating. Interesting. I wonder what logic's made of. Logicanium? Is that on the periodic table of elements? Logicanium?
It's kind of funny.
Huh?
Not one of his best jokes.
I mean, isn't it? I think the point is like, okay, if you're going to assume physicalism, then you're assuming empiricism, that you have a physical explanation, something demonstrable, and that's what he's joking about.
Yeah.
Logicanianism, where is it? What is it? If you're going to say it hasn't been discovered yet, then you're going into scientism. Like you're claiming something's physical, but the empirical sciences have not discovered it yet. It's just a matter of time before we'll get there. So either way, you're kind of in trouble here.
Not an entity, right? Because an entity, there's no like entity, like you couldn't cut open a brain or any sort of reasoning being and find an entity of logic, right? I think we both agree on that.
Did you just say camel diddler? I mean, that comment can be misconstrued as racist. Well, no, that's racist because you're now assuming that there's only certain people who are capable of diddling camels. So look who's racist now.
What the fuck? What the hell?
If you consider things like logic and like experience,
I don't know.
these things that you would label as immaterial, instead of as immaterial entities that exist in some sort of universal category, instead they were just relationships between material entities, like complex sets of interrelationships between
whiteboard alert
material things. And then you could kind of conceive of it that way. What would you respond to that?
Yeah.
I know race
see what I think what you guys missed in the video is Jay Dyer is completely prepared for this. He understands this argument. He understands the rebuttal. He's way ahead of this caller. He's getting out his whiteboard to say, okay, I need to listen to what he's saying because I know how to address this, but I need to properly get his position. I need to clarify his position. So when you're listening to the transcript, it's one thing, but you guys missed the fact that he's saying things in a question-like form that sound like statements when you're reading the transcript. You go, he didn't say that. He didn't say that. He's asking him by making statements in the way that he is, using the whiteboard, putting it on the screen. So Jay Dyer is well-versed in this area, and he's ready for this guy's question.
So you think that what he put on that whiteboard was pertinent to the problem and significant? You think that was brilliant?
Absolutely. He goes through it with him. He puts it up to the screen to the caller and says, so you said this, right? And then you said this. And then he's pointing out how the caller's circular. He's going back and forth between sets and relationship. The point is, Mike, is that the caller is never getting to the thing in question, which is the number 7. He's merely pointing out relationships or sets of things. He's never getting to the thing in question because it's not a material thing. It's an immaterial invariant abstraction. You're going into number theory here. It's not part of the physical sciences.
It's not a race. Yeah. Maybe he was being facetious, hopefully. I can't tell in my chat anymore.
Yeah, he's busy writing on his little whiteboard now.
Oh, good critique, Mike, from Answers in Atheism. So we got our second critique in of this little conversation. And what is it? Look at him. He's writing on his whiteboard now. He's writing something down on his whiteboard.
Yeah, I mean, this is the kind of shit I don't agree with, right? Like, it's just stupid. You just got to do the voice imitations, and I don't know what to say about that, you know?
So,
So,
oh, wow, Mike. Great work, buddy. So the second critique is Jay's writing something on a whiteboard.
yeah, I kind of like I like the way he's presenting this. I think it's pretty good. We got midnight in the house.
Hello.
And this,
Hello.
hey,
It's
midnight.
been a long while.
Yep.
I say, and that's where you asked him a question, and he's right now on the whiteboard, and I don't think he ever got back to that question yet.
Oh, well, Captain Disc. Good call. You
Were we roboting on our video?
got
The really important thing he said here is the relationships between material entities or complex sets of interrelationships between material things.
forget complex sets. Any sets. Any relations. It doesn't matter if they're complex.
And now Jay's going to come up with his reduction.
So
Oh, gosh.
My goodness.
Because reductions are invalid just because they're simple. Is that what it is? Is that what it is, Mike?
my question would be, and as I was listening to you talk, I wrote down 3 things that I would like you to clarify, if you would.
Right.
So when you talk about
Whiteboard
a
fallacy.
set of things, and when you talk about relationships, and when you talk about sets,
Look,
when you talk about the things, I assume you mean when you pick out objects in the world, the set that classes those set of things.
Okay, well, I guess it would depend on what we're talking about. So
depends on what you mean.
Because
Depends on what you mean by set.
this is what you said.
experience, as an example.
Well, I mean,
So it
you
would
said
be like-
thing. Hold on.
Oh,
So,
sorry.
are you talking about objects in the world? That's what I assume you mean by things. You said relationships between those things in the world.
Mhm.
Okay, so what is this thing that you're calling a set of those things?
What's that made of?
What is this
What's
thing?
that
that
already-
you're calling a set of things?
Listen, even the people, doing the shitty critique right now, they're giggling because Jay already has them in a corner. What is a set under physicalism? What is it? Set, what is it made out of? Setonium?
Okay, so he's trying to get to the universe.
What is it?
Right, that we're calling. We're picking out a set of things in the world and we're calling it a set of things. So what is that set of things?
Yeah, what is it?
Itself, right? What is the reality of that set of things?
Yeah.
Well, sometimes a set of things is just a set of things.
Wow, Mike. Good. Let's all give a rounded applause for Mike.
Mike,
You see, this stuff is kind of hard to listen to.
well, no, I know this
there
is
isn't a
probably,
lot of content, right?
it's probably difficult. I know you didn't plan on this, and if you don't want to watch it, I understand. It's cool. We don't have to, but we're just waiting on Eric, really. But would you just say sometimes a set of things is just a set of things?
Right. I'm not sure in what context I said that or what I meant exactly.
I mean, it just sounds like a circle. Sometimes a set of things is a set of things. That's why he's clapping. Like, what did you say?
Yeah, I mean, some things are extremely obvious. Okay, a set of things is extremely obvious. If you had 7 coconuts, you have a set of 7 coconuts, and that just is a set. That's what a set is. A set is made up of its elements, right?
No, the set is.
A set is not a thing. No, it's not a thing all by itself. It actually is the elements. It is the set of elements.
It's identical to the elements.
Yes, yes.
Okay,
All
so
of them.
you have elements, and you point to them and say, "There's a set," and then that idea of set becomes the elements. It's you're just kind of going in a circle. You're not really saying anything.
No,
You're
it's
saying
the
you're
elements. Okay,
Yeah. Where is the set within the elements?
it's where we got the idea of what sets are. by looking at similar things in space and time and grouping them, and we came up with this word set that refers to them. But when you ask what is it, well, it just is that. It is what we encountered when we came up with that concept.
So
we discovered them.
you could posit in another word and it would also be identical to the elements.
Sure.
So the elements are whatever you say they are.
No, not at all.
Okay.
The elements have nothing to do with what I say they are. The elements were there. Will be there.
You already said the elements were the set. It's the same thing that Jay's doing to the caller. You're going in a circle. He's pointing that out.
And you're getting confused about language and concepts and humans and minds. And you take all of that out, okay, and you're left with just 7 coconuts, right? So you have 7 coconuts. Say you have a universe.
You're making it a little more complicated. Hold on. You're bringing in complications. We're trying to focus in on something here. You're saying the set is identical to the elements, and then you're saying, well, that's just a word somebody chose. We could posit in a different word as well.
Okay, you're kind of doing it too. You guys keep bringing in that. You keep saying identical. I use the word is. It's a copula. Basically, I didn't say identical. So
well, that's what's the question, right? Like, are you talking about identity? Are you saying the set is the identity of the things? Is it identical?
It is the set. Is. Okay. It basically, it is the reality of the set, the coconuts. It doesn't have anything to do with the word or you referring to it or you thinking about it or you conceiving of it or you drawing a circle around it. There is something about space, time, and matter that makes a pile of 7 coconuts a pile of 7 coconuts. And now we come along and we say, oh, we're going to call that a set. Okay, that's a different thing. So if you say, is a set identical? Well, you're kind of stretching the concept in places that it shouldn't be stretched. And this is what you're just not seeing. You're not seeing the beauty of the universe. You guys have no faith. That's what kills me. But where is Lionheart? I mean, I've got a place to be here in 45 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, he's usually around, but
he was going to come at 1, right? You're Eastern?
2. Yeah.
I mean, maybe you and I could, kick this stuff around at a later time, but I got a friend who's got locked his keys in his car, and he's going to be stuck in about what did he tell me? 3 o'clock? Did he tell me 3 o'clock? That
I don't know. Yeah,
and he's pretty far away.
Yeah,
but,
we don't want to leave him hanging.
Yeah, let me see.
You got a lot of stuff ahead of you here, unless you're.
I was all prepared for this at 7 a.m.
Maybe we could. Even with the critique you got going on today, you got some added weight, right?
I got some what?
Some added weight. I mean, imagine you're going to want to watch this.
God, how long has it been going on?
Got like 400. You got like what? 400 people, 300 people watching Jim Bob do this.
How long has he been going on about me? The whole time?
The title implies atheists go after Jay Dyer, but I think he's just been doing this for maybe a half hour or so. But there's so much here that it takes a long time to do this. Well, like maybe the idea that Peter W.'s bringing forth might be helpful. Is the set of 7 coconuts? Is the 7?
Oh my God, that's
coconuts
in the molecules.
Oh. If so, why does 7 bananas and 7 coconuts share 7? It can't hold on. It can't be in the objects. The objects are different, right?
The objects are different. Yeah.
7 bananas and 7 coconuts. We're trying to locate what the 7 is because it can't be the same material now that we have 7 bananas versus 7 coconuts. So we're asking what the 7 is, especially to a physicalist. What is this elusive 7?
Okay. This is where I claim that some nominalists and theists can't tell their ass from a hole in the ground. A coconut is a coconut, right?
Sure.
Okay. An apple is an apple, right?
Banana, yeah.
If we have 7 coconuts and we have 7 apples, they're different from each other, right? Each individual one is different from each other. Apples
Right.
and coconuts are different,
I
right?
mean, we can use
Okay.
bananas. That's, but
So
whatever.
why do we call each of these things all coconuts, and each of the things in this other pile, why do we call them all apples?
Well, they're
Is
composed
it in
of
the
different-
molecules? Is it in the molecules or what?
the definition of the thing.
The definition, right? Yeah, where
We're
is the
defining
definition?
different objects, right? We've got 7 bananas, or we've got 7 coconuts.
Yep. But there's a reason why
Description
we.
Of a
There's
set
a
of
reason
molecules
why.
that make up a banana and make up a coconut, right? What is
Right.
this?
Go ahead. Sorry to walk
Oh,
on
I was
you.
waiting on you.
Okay, there's a reason why we call a coconut. Okay, and what does it mean to say it's in the molecules? What do you mean by that?
Right.
What do you
If we're
mean
going to
by-
ask what the descriptor is, then that's going to be a different question than the idea of 7. Like, we're not, if you want to get to the description of a coconut, asking where is the description of what we're calling a coconut in the coconut, right? We can't get there. So we're talking about the 7,
So why are we talking about molecules again?
a separate question. Because you're a physicalist, everything is physical.
Okay, so everything's in the molecules, right?
Everything is physical if you're a physicalist.
Okay.
So it seems what's in question is that you're borrowing abstractions and immaterial ideas and smuggling them into a physicalist worldview, unaccounted for, unjustified. That's
Okay,
ultimately where they're going. They're looking for justification and accountability of
Okay,
these
but what do you,
invariant, immaterial concepts that you're using. 7
I'm
is in
trying to-
question in this particular case.
I'm trying to get at what you mean by when you say, are they in the molecules? What do you mean in the molecules? What would you mean by that?
That we're talking to a physicalist that's going to explain to us how 7 exists physically. So
In
we're
the
bringing
molecules?
we're bringing up molecules because we want to know what the physical nature of 7 is. If you want to go to the atomic level, if you want to go to the what we've got, atoms, molecules, and
Right.
what's the next step? Compound, right? You want to take it there, sure.
Atoms,
Just where is it
molecules, then we
empirically?
go
How do we verify it?
Okay. Okay, you've already lost the thread when you ask if number 7 is in the molecules.
How do we
because
verify it?
Okay. Oh my God, it drives me crazy. Now we got to talk about molecules. So now we got to talk about what coconuts are, at a molecular
the
level.
question stands.
You want to talk about what coconuts are? Well, you got to know what a coconut is before you can go any further. Because if you don't know what one coconut is, you
No.
sure as hell ain't
You want
gonna-
to talk
Okay, now
Hold on.
you're walking at me. Now let me finish.
Mike, hold on. We don't want to talk
What
about
do you mean hold on? Don't give me this hold on stuff that Lionheart's going to give me. If I'm saying something, please listen to me till the end. Okay? Give me that.
delay. Is there a delay?
I think so. I think we're
There
walking
might
on
be a
each other.
delay.
And you're kind of breaking up for me too. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Maybe if we clearly
there's something-
pause it. Yeah. Okay.
Going on
We-
here
we-
because
We got a delay. Yeah.
Pop-
I hate
pop
that.
out and
'Cause
pop
then
in
you
again. And
should I get out and get back in?
yes.
Thing is,
Yeah,
I'm
try
not
that.
sure. Okay, I gotta make sure I know how to get back in because Chrome the last time kept losing the link. Oh, okay, StreamYard, come on, give me that. Give me that much.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead and pop out and pop in. And also,
Okay.
Peter, it might be helpful for you to come in. I know you didn't want to, but Mike's only going to be here for a few more minutes, so it seems like maybe you could bring in some information, having watched this video, that would be helpful. That I'm not asking Mike in the way that you might understand it.
Boy.
Just waiting on Mike to pop back in. We have a delay going on, so he's got a lot going on. He's got to see his friend, and he's got this video being critiqued about him. So he was trying to come here to talk to Eric, and this is all sort of unexpected. So try to keep that in mind. Let's see if we're talking fluently now, Mike. So we're looking for the number 7 in a physicalist worldview, right? Ultimately. All right. So when we talk about like where is it, and we bring up the molecules, there's a reason that's happening, because we want to know what the number 7 is physically, right?
Right. Oh.
All right, I think the delay is gone.
Okay. Are we better?
Are you going to draw some more coconuts?
I am, yeah. I'm going to draw 7 coconuts. Yeah, 7 coconuts. Okay. Yeah, 1, 2. Oh, they should all be the same size coconuts, just to be sure. But we got 7 coconuts. So is Peter coming in or what?
Right. Hey, Peter. Yeah, Peter's here. Welcome, Peter.
Hey, Mike.
Okay.
Is our conversation all delayed from your end, Peter?
I kind of hear something's not quite right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It might be because I'm playing the live stream that Jim Bob is doing. I don't know, but I think Peter's is helpful on this, because he's watched your video, and he has the same perspective as I do, and maybe another person speaking about it might be helpful.
Yeah.
So you got 7 coconuts, right? You draw in there.
Right. Yep. And there's something about the coconuts that you have to keep in mind. Okay. I want to get it.
What do you mean mind?
Okay, there we go. Here we go. Here we go. No, it ain't.
How is it? Okay, because you took out the mines in the coconut example on the island, right?
Right.
So you're talking about something that's objective, that's true without mind, ultimately, something invariant.
Right. Yeah, that's physicalism. Okay. We got mines over here on the right? And we have the coconuts over here on the left. Okay. And we're not going to talk about these things, right? Because you never talk. That's the first rule of the club, is that we never talk about the mines.
Hey, my man, appreciate
You okay with that?
Well, the question that Peter had is still going to be relevant, because as a physicalist, we want to know what a mind is.
Right. We can talk about that later, but if you can't even figure out what 7 coconuts are, we're a long way from talking about what a brain does.
I'm trying to figure out where 7 is.
Okay, where 7 is. It's right here. 7 coconuts.
There's no 7 there.
You don't think so?
No.
Okay, 1.
Can you draw 7 bananas?
Who's counting, Mike?
6.
Who's counting?
7.
There's no minds there, right?
Okay, but are there 7 coconuts there? Without a mind
I know
around.
there are, because I
Okay.
have a mind.
Okay, if you put 7 pennies in your piggy bank and then you go to town, when you come home again, do you have 7? While you were in town, do you think you had 7 pennies in the piggy bank?
I don't know how this is relevant.
How many pennies did you have in a piggy bank?
I
Does
don't.
it have
why
does
is
it
it-
have anything to do with you thinking about
Okay,
them?
Mike, was a 7 in my piggy bank?
There are 7 pennies in your piggy bank.
Where's the 7?
7 pennies. If you had 6 pennies in your piggy bank, then you'd be asking where the 6 is.
You're just begging the question over and over. We're asking where
Begging the
7
question.
is.
Okay. God, I don't know how you guys think. You're not physicalists. You're straw manning physicalism. Okay.
Right. We think that we believe that
You think it's in God's mind.
reality
We
consists of
believe-
material and immaterial things, substance dualism.
Yeah,
There's
okay.
Material invariant.
Let me try to steel man your position. You think the number 7 is a real thing, but you think it's in the mind of God and in your mind, right?
Right.
That's where it came up. Okay. So you have an immaterial explanation for it, that it is the mind of God that created 7 things. Would that be correct?
Mine has already always existed.
Ultimately,
What's-
ultimately the
okay.
numbers have been
And the 7 is in there. Okay. Okay. So did the mind of God, the mind of God create the coconuts?
I think we still want to find out where the 7 is in the coconuts.
I'm trying to tell you. Because
This
you're
has nothing to do with it. You're talking about my worldview.
I know you're
Yeah,
I'm trying to figure out why you're
You're
having
talking
such
about your world.
we've got the worldviews down, right? Like Peter and I. Hold on. We're trying to say that we think that 7's an immaterial invariant
right.
reality, and you're telling us it's a physical reality. So we just simply want you to empirically show us or prove to us where the 7 exists in time and space.
Okay, so
7,
so you think
counting, not this.
you think the number 7 is in like some other realm? We can't even call it another dimension, but like this immaterial mind realm.
Well, I think it's in my mind because I don't deny everything and say everything's an illusion. So I just say it's in my mind and it's in God's mind.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm trying to draw a picture over here on the left of what your immaterial realm is, where you have numbers. So you got number 7, you got the number 6.
Well, you
got
also
the number
agree that 7's in your
Why are you reviewing our worldview? We want to know
Mike,
where
you
the
also agree that
7
7's
is
in your
in
mind.
your worldview.
Because you're not seeing the obvious in physicalism. And if I don't understand your worldview, I'm not going to understand. You see, you're looking at physicalism through your worldview, and you're not able to see what I'm telling you. So
Well,
obviously,
you haven't
okay,
told us anything yet.
hold on a second now. Both of us have a worldview, right? And we're talking to each other. So that means our words are coming through our worldviews, both of them. Right?
Go ahead.
So I have to have some idea why you're having so much trouble understanding this.
I understand perfectly. You're calling everything an illusion because you want to deny God.
Oh my God, I want to deny God. Why would I want to deny God? I've been an atheist all my life, never had any experience with God.
You don't want to don't want to submit to God because you don't want anybody telling you what to do.
Why would I? What? People tell me what to do all the time. I live with my son. I live in his house. He tells me what to do all the time. My cats tell me what to do. What do you mean I don't want people to tell me what to do? I used to work for people.
Ethical, moral level.
You don't want to submit to God.
Submit to God.
You want to be the
God,
arbiter of your own.
that sounds kind of like S&M to me. What do you mean submit to God? I don't. What?
Submit your will to God's will.
Oh, you mean what? Oh, now you want to talk about the AA.
We want to talk
God.
about the numbers. We want to talk about the numbers.
No, we're talking. I think we should
try to move away from trying to move
It sounds like we need to talk about
away
atheism
from that.
first.
Obviously.
I think you don't understand my atheism, but no, you brought it. Okay, you brought it up. I don't want to submit to God.
Hold on.
You asked me. I didn't bring it up. You asked me.
I didn't ask you about. Did I ask you about God?
Yes, you asked me why you didn't believe in God. That's what.
No, I didn't ask you why I don't believe in God. I know why I don't believe in God. I didn't ask you that. You put words in my mouth. You don't want to believe in God because you don't want to submit to God, and you're afraid to believe in God and all this. I mean, you brought that up. I didn't. So you went down this road. So let's go down that road if you want to go down that road.
Well, go ahead.
Actually,
where do you want to go?
I've been an atheist all my life. Never had any reason to believe in God. I think the Bible is like a really old, dumb book that has,
Are you
little.
just gonna make claims?
That's what I think. That's how I'm brought up. That's my worldview. I'm telling you what my worldview is. So I've never had any God to appeal to. But now there is something though. I'm an alcoholic, right, and a drug addict, and I've been sober for almost 2 decades. And one of the ways I got sober was with something called Step 3. Okay, and hang on a second here. Shit. Hang on a second. I gotta clear my throat.
Okay, what are we doing here now?
Oh, shit, I forgot to unmute. Okay. Damn it. I keep coughing up.
Are we getting to the number
sports.
7? The physicality of number 7, or are we doing something else now?
Should we get back to the number 7, or do you want to talk about atheism? Well, he brought it up. I mean, don't bring up my atheism and don't put words in my mouth about what I don't want to believe in or what I'm afraid of or whatever. I mean, it really offends me. So
Really, the way you talk about Christianity is fine, but the way what I said offends you?
When you're psychologizing me and trying to
when you're psychologizing Christians, it's okay?
Yeah, I guess it is. Yeah, good point. Good point. But it offends me. And if you offend me, then we got to talk about it, right? So I don't want to submit.
I don't think we have to.
I don't know. It might be better than talking about the number 7.
You want to move from the number 7 and talk about feelings now?
Feelings?
Well, isn't that ultimately what you're getting at when you're offended?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know which way to go now that you brought that up, because I mean that's a really interesting topic between us because I have turned my life and will over to the care of something as I understand him, and so I've really done that. When you're saying I don't submit, that offends me because submission is I don't like that word, but turning my will over is pretty much the substance of my life. So you don't know what you're talking about when you're talking to me. Okay. Do you accept that, Peter? That you don't know me?
I don't know every aspect of your life, but I'm curious. What is
you don't know any aspect of my life, apparently. Okay. Otherwise, you wouldn't have said stuff like that. So
that you don't.
Have you guys talked before? Have you guys talked before? You know each other?
You've been on my site a lot, haven't you?
I used to.
Oh, I've seen you recently. I thought.
Been kind I don't know if I've been on recently. I don't. Maybe.
Okay. Yeah, that is an interesting other discussion.
I wanted to ask you, Mike, if you don't mind. Is this thing you've turned your life over to? Is it physical?
Everything's physical, so in some way it is, but you wouldn't in ordinary language you wouldn't say it that way. Right?
See, I always get the feeling that you want to stick to your physicalism, but in the way you're thinking and the way you live your life and the way you speak, when it slips out, you talk about mind, you talk about giving your life over to something, a more powerful being or whatever. It seems like you're interspersing your metaphysical, numbers, whatever, all the time while trying to insist that you're a physicalist.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Well, I can reduce everything to physicalism, but it often takes a lot of time. Of course, I'm stuck with our ordinary language, right? And when I say I turn my life over, well, okay. Basically, the I in that thing, the process of turning it over and what I'm turning it over to are all physical. Okay. But I am the thing that is physical. So when I say that, obviously, I am doing something in my psychology, in my way of thinking, in my emotions, in my, the deepest part of me, that I'm doing something as an organism, okay, that has an effect on me as a future organism. So like when you make a decision to not be mad at somebody anymore, you're making a decision to change yourself in the future, right? Am I correct?
Yeah, but I don't see how you do it on a physicalist view.
I'm made of physical stuff. I'm an
Right,
organism.
but how do you change the physical stuff?
How do I change the physical stuff? Changes. I don't change it. That's the whole
Okay,
point
so
of giving. Okay,
but you
now
just said you just said
hit it.
to do something.
You just hit it right on the head. Okay, I don't do things. My will is not doing things in the universe. The universe is doing things. That is God. God is doing things. What I chose to do is to stop thinking like it's me in charge. And that's turning your will over to the care of God as you understand them.
I just think that sticking with a physicalist view, you sacrifice so much. I don't see how you live with it.
You gain
have
so
the
much.
mind. Numbers are an illusion. Good and evil are an illusion. Right and wrong is an illusion. My free will is an illusion. It's just I don't see how you live with it.
But all those things are still there. It's just like you can't find 7 in a pile of
You just
coconut.
jump back and say all those things are still there.
You just
hold on. Yeah, you're bringing in mind and you're bringing in will.
He's over talking me.
Are you able to hear me?
Yeah, I do.
That you're bringing in mind, you're bringing in will on a physicalist view, and you're saying they're there. Where are they?
They're physical.
Okay. How are they empirically proven? How is will and mind empirically proven? And again, where are they?
Okay, where is will, right? Where is will? Okay, will would be in my movement. Okay, if I move my arm, okay, that's my organism willing to move my arm.
Okay, you're giving me a description of a behavior.
That's all there is. In physicalism, that's all there is the description. There's nothing else. There's no abstract.
That's not a will.
Okay.
Yeah, you answered correctly, and you still have the problem. That's the point.
Okay, all human beings, in English-speaking human beings, would say they have a will or feel like they have a will because that's how it is to be a human, right? You feel like you're in charge. You're making these decisions. You're doing things, right?
Okay, so the will is a feeling that human beings are having.
Yeah, feeling about what we're doing. Like if I decide I need a ham sandwich and then I say, oh, I'm going to walk upstairs. I'm going to do this thing. I'm going to go get that ham sandwich. I'm going to will myself a sandwich, right? Right.
Right. You're giving me a description of the behavior that's entailed into this word will. And we're asking where this will, the thing in question, physically exists.
Yeah, that's where we kind of get to the point where you have to admit that your will, that you having any will at all, is sort of an illusion.
See, that's what I'm saying. You have to take a worldview that these very critical intuitions to our well-being and say they're just illusions. Okay. I don't know how you live with it.
I turn my will over to the care of God as I understand them. That's how I live with it. Why can't you?
But you have to say your will is an illusion. So you're not turning anything over.
Yeah, you're turning over an illusion to be cared for. What is that? What are you saying?
So what is an illusion? What does illusion mean to you?
I don't have illusions, so I don't know.
Okay, do you think it means that something doesn't exist?
It seems like you're saying the will is an illusion, but it exists, but we can't prove it physically, and you're a physicalist.
Right. So it's an illusion. Okay. What is an illusion, Peter? Both of you guys are muted.
An illusion is, like you see water and it's not really there.
Right, but you're seeing something, right? What are you seeing that's not there? Or what are
You're
you
seeing
seeing
light,
that is there?
you're seeing light reflecting off the hot surface
Right.
of the desert.
Okay, so an illusion is basically having the kind of wrong idea about what's really there, right?
It's having a false perception, yes.
Right. Okay, so the will is an illusion in that respect. No, I didn't say it didn't exist. So when I get up to get it,
The oasis doesn't exist in the desert.
the oasis doesn't, right?
So the will doesn't exist.
Okay, we got the will, right? Oh my goodness.
Oh boy.
No, we don't have it. That's kind of the point. You're saying this thing exists.
Okay, we got a word called will that we're using, right? Okay. And that will basically is something. So it we'll say it actually exists. There is something there. There is
Will
sand
say
and
it
light.
actually exists?
Okay, there is sand and light. And then this is the water. Okay, what we think it is, right? So this would be will with a capital W. We think it's that, right? So we're over here, we're the brains, and we think will is basically one thing, but it's actually something else. It's actually this thing. It's actually this noumena, right? You guys are familiar with transcendental arguments, right?
Does that exist in the physical world?
He's saying that thing is objective, right?
This does. Yeah. It's objective. Yeah. Yeah. When I will to make a ham sandwich, and I actually get up and do it, obviously there's something called will that exists in the world, right? But it's not what we think it is. It's not water. It's not this particular will that you're thinking it is.
Who is this we you keep talking about?
Brains over here. We have illusions.
I don't.
You don't have any illusions?
I don't have illusions about my will. I know it exists. Where does your middle will, the one that looks like a strawberry, where does that exist? In the physical universe.
This one right here?
Yep.
It's going to exist in me over the course of time, over the course of my life, right? There's something about me.
Right? It's just nonsense.
Okay, you don't seem to be capable of letting me finish a sentence.
Go ahead. Jay, talk to him.
Pretty frustrating, isn't it? Oh my goodness. Okay. So I told you what an illusion is, right? Do you understand what an illusion is?
I don't understand what you're saying is an illusion. No, because you're bringing in will to explain it. We're asking what the will is, where it exists physically, ultimately.
Man makes plans and God laughs. You've heard of that? You've heard that expression?
Yeah.
Okay. Basically. Okay.
I mean,
so
it's not quite accurate, I don't think, but man makes plans the way, but God provides the steps.
So man thinks he has that he's in charge, that he has this will, right? That he can control things, that I can control my own mind, that I can control other people, what they're thinking. I can control my kids, my wife, my pets, all of that, right? That's all will, right?
Well, mind is still in question on a physicalist view, Mike. So there's a constant smuggling going on. That's why this conversation keeps getting stifled.
Well, that's because you guys brought in mind prematurely before I could explain what a brain is.
You just said mind.
Yeah. Well, we're talking about will, right? You asked me. Well, you asked me where the will was. Then we're gonna have to start talking about minds because there ain't no will out there.
He's just a bickerer, Jay. It's just nonsensical bickering.
No, you're not understanding the deeper point.
I'm understanding it's nonsense.
Okay, I'm trying to get you to understand what AA step 3 is about. Giving your will up, basically. Giving your will over to the care of God as you understand them. Okay, as a Christian, this should be an easy thing for you to understand.
Look, I understand you're giving us some ideas of what you think about will, but we're more interested in the thing in question. What is the will itself? You're telling us a story about how wills work and what that entails. We're questioning what the will is itself in the physical world.
Okay, you want me to tell you what the will is, but you don't want to talk about minds.
I don't want you to give me a story about this illusion you're calling will. I want you to locate it in the physical world because you are a physicalist.
Okay, and you want me to do that without telling you where it is.
No, I want you to tell me where it is.
Okay, it's
He's
in mind.
just bickering.
It's in mind.
Okay,
And you told me you told me I couldn't bring up mind, and here you're asking me a question about where something is, and it's over here in this mind thing, this brain
I think
thing.
you're missing the point. I'm not saying you can't say mind. I'm saying you can't account for it. You can't justify it on a physicalist view. When you want to bring it in, it's a smuggle. So you're just moving into the mind to try to explain something that you can't explain physically.
No,
and using hold on, and you're using another non-physical thing to try to explain it.
Okay, all you're saying is that I haven't yet explained mind to you in a physicalist terms, right?
Or will, correct.
Yeah, okay. How am I going to do that if we can't even figure out what 7 coconuts is?
I mean, exactly. How are you going to do that? That's what's in question.
It's a joke. It's a complete joke.
I'm not playing.
Congratulations, Mike, on having a worldview that's based on illusion, all because you got to deny God.
Oh, there you go again. And that's how we went down this road, because here you are telling me what I think. You think you know me. Oh my goodness. I think I'm better at this faith stuff than you guys are. Really am. I understand what turning my will over is. And you keep coming up with this, oh no, I want to deny God and I don't want to submit to God and all this BS. And it's like, I turn my will over to the universe as I understand it on a daily basis, almost every second, right? That's how I stay sober.
That submit to God really hit a nerve, huh?
That what? Oh, submit does.
God really hit a nerve, didn't it?
Submit does, because I think of this BDSM thing and, the submission thing where, oh, spank me, that sort of thing. I don't like that. It's icky. I don't like icky philosophy. So anyway, Peter, I'm very serious about this. Okay, I've thought this stuff way through. I obviously have a very, very different way of thinking than you guys do, right? Would you agree?
Your way of thinking is complete nonsense.
Okay, that's pretty unfair. Okay, I think that's what I think of you, actually. But no, I'm sure that you have the reasons for believing in this God you believe in, right? And it would be unfair of me to say that what you think is complete nonsense, right? If I said that, that would be kind of offensive, right?
If you believed in God, you wouldn't have to say your mind and your will are an illusion, that there is no number 7. All these things you wouldn't have to put up with.
Yeah, when I go to an AA meeting, instead of saying the universe or physicality, I say God, and I get along really well with other Christian AA members, right? Because we're talking about kind of the same kind of spirituality. It's just that we're using that I'm allowing for their label. That's why I told Jim Bob that I'm an atheist about the Christian God, but I'm not an atheist about my God. So I have my own conception of God, right? Which is the universe, cosmos, complexity.
And what explanatory power does that conception of God, and where does spirituality come into a physicalist worldview?
What it does is it opens the door to all of science and physicality and complexity and all of that. That's the explanatory power. So it opens the door to that. It says that everything that exists can be explained with this thing called science. That's what it says. And that's my explanatory power.
Can that statement itself, that philosophy that you just quoted, can that be proved by science?
Proved. Science doesn't prove things.
You said everything can be proved by science, so I'm bringing in the claim itself.
Did I say prove?
Okay, go ahead and say it again, and I'll demonstrate what I'm doing.
Okay, everything can be illuminated by science, explained by science. I didn't say prove.
Okay.
I don't think.
Can that claim itself be illuminated by science, and if so, how?
What claim?
The claim you just made.
Oh, that everything can be illuminated by science.
Right.
Oh, okay. Now you're gonna play liar's paradox, right? Okay.
No, I'm not. I'm asking you if that claim itself.
Yeah, you are.
Can be illuminated by science.
You did it in that evolution discussion with Why with what's his name? Braveheart, or I can't remember.
The question still remains.
Right. Okay, it is my opinion. Okay, and that has nothing to do with certainty. It's my
Okay, so are
opinion.
you moving away from the question now? Are you moving into something else?
No, I'm going back and explaining the question, right? Because I
Are you gonna
see
do
your
it
liar's
scientifically?
paradise.
Are you going to do it scientifically, empirically, or are you going to do it with more explanation, more philosophy?
Scientifically and empirically. So we're having a conversation, and you want me to get out test tubes, or what? What do you want me to do?
Everything can be illuminated scientifically.
Illuminated by science, right? Everything
Illuminated
can be
by
explained.
science. I'm asking you. I'm bringing that claim into question. Does it fall under that same classification that it can be illuminated by science?
I think it does. Yeah.
I might just step out if you don't mind, unless you want me here.
Well, I do like you here, but it's up to you.
Okay, go ahead.
Mike is limited on time anyway, so it's
All right.
isn't much time
Oh,
left.
we got
But
10 minutes, guys.
If you,
We actually have less than that. So
yeah, that's fine. If you're gonna say everything can be illuminated by science, of course the claim itself is coming into question. And
He says everything is an illusion.
well, yeah, you got that too. So
when did I say everything is an illusion?
all the immaterial things like will and mind are ultimately illusion.
I didn't say all the material things are illusions. No,
If you could-
no, I didn't say that.
Well,
I said
are-
will. We were talking about
what
will.
What are
I use
immaterial things in a physicalist worldview?
I use the word illusion for one thing, and that's will. Okay, now get that right. Okay, don't put words in my mouth.
If your will is an illusion, you don't have knowledge.
Okay, now let's not back up to that. We've moved on from that. Okay, I just want to correct
It's
you.
absurd.
And that
It's
I never
ridiculous
said.
nonsense. This man is spewing ridiculous nonsense.
Okay, Peter, you can go because you're really not doing any good here. You really aren't.
Well, I think that he's making a valid point, even though it's you don't like it.
No, valid point that I just don't want to believe in God. I don't want to submit
No,
to God.
not just that. He's getting into
Okay.
specifics, but Mike, you're
That I said everything is an illusion?
Your philosophy is in question. Your ultimate philosophy is that all things can be illuminated by science. That's
Yes.
somewhat of an ultimate philosophy.
Yeah,
So that is in
scientism.
question, right? And you've got a problem there, and I don't think you're going to solve it right now. You can move away from it, but just please say that you're going to move away from it. You want to talk about something else because you can't illuminate that philosophy with science, right?
Yeah, because we would be talking about epistemology, and we would be talking about how I arrived at naturalism, and that's another subject. But
so then,
okay.
Therefore, that very claim is inaccurate.
What claim is?
That all things can be illuminated by science. The claim itself.
No, I can explain that. Do you want to go down the epistemology route? We got 5 minutes.
I'm asking you to use science and empiricism to account for that, because the claim itself says it can be accounted for and illuminated by science. You see, you're caught in a problem there that can't be solved.
Okay, this is your brain. Okay, we didn't draw a skull here, so we just draw the brain. We draw the brain. Okay, so we draw the brain, right? Okay, so illuminate means what? Something happens to that brain, right? That brain's going to understand something.
Physical, or it has to be something physical, of course, if I'm to be consistent in your worldview.
The brain is physical. Okay, trust me. If you take your brain out of
the illumination that you're bringing in to be consistent must be physical. What is it?
Yeah, it's something that happens inside here. It's a little light that comes on. It'll be like a little light bulb that comes on.
Okay. When is that? Where is that provable empirically?
Neuroscience.
So you see, you'd see a brain scan and something would light up, and you call that thing illumination. Yeah. Okay. And
yeah, when you come to understand something, they can actually scan your brain and it'll find certain patterns and it'll find them across different people. Yeah. We can tell when you get something or when you don't, that sort of thing. So yeah, it's all physical. It's all in there. But there's a lot more to epistemology than that.
So you're seeing a brain scan and you're seeing lights and you're pointing to the lights and saying, that is illumination.
Right. We see what happens to a person every time they get the feeling that they understand something.
Okay, and that term itself is not bringing in any immaterial ideas or concepts.
Nope.
Okay. All right.
But of course, yeah. Anyway, I got to get out of here, but I find you pretty easy to talk to, JG, and I think we could probably, I don't know how we'd sort this out. Our worldviews are so different. I'd be really interested in talking to you about this will and spirit thing, and this idea of turning your will over. You Christians don't believe that, though. You believe that you're always willing things, right? Don't you?
It's going to be the same problem. I'm always going to go to your worldview and say, how can you physically account for these things? You can describe them and point to them and say, we call it these things.
Yeah.
But I'm always going to go to the accountability and justification of these immaterial concepts that you're smuggling in. And as you speak more and more, I'll be pointing out the different things you're bringing in. Like earlier, Jim Baum pointed out in the video, and you agreed that logic is physical. That's a huge fundamental problem. That's not going to go away.
Why are you calling me a smuggler?
Because you're smuggling in things that are not physical into a physical world.
I smuggled in things?
Logic is not physical.
Everything's physical.
I understand that's your worldview.
I didn't smuggle anything in. Everything's physical. Everything I say is physical. Right?
Logic is not physical.
You called me a smuggler. Kind of offended.
I'm saying you have no obligation to the truth.
Oh, now I'm a liar?
Give me a philosopher that thinks that logic is physical, if you can.
Alex Rosenberg.
Who?
Alex Rosenberg.
Alex Rosenberg. So where does logic exist physically?
There are others. There are more. But
that's fair enough. You gave a name, Rosenberg. In Rosenberg's view, do you know where he claims that logic, the classical laws of logic, exist, and how he accounts for that empirically?
I'm actually not sure about that for Rosenberg, but I assume because he is a scientist, just like me, he subscribes to scientism. I'd have to ask him specifically about logic, and I haven't.
Right.
So, but anyway, there's a lot of other philosophers that think this way, that believe in it would be in the realism of abstracta, basically. And I understand you guys too believe that it's real, except you think it's in that immaterial domain. So that makes it a little bit different. But I've got to go help my friend.
Okay. Well, sorry that Eric
and,
show up. We'll get you and Eric together later then. Sorry about that, but thanks for.
Yeah, hopefully. Do you ever get up before noon?
I always get up before noon.
Okay. Maybe we can do it.
It doesn't mean I want to do debates at 8 a.m. You know, there's not many people around that want to do that either. So.
Well, we could do it at like 10, or 11. That would be reasonable.
I mean,
I do.
I might be doing things. I typically get on here at like 8 p.m.
Yeah, I don't do after 6 ever. Well,
okay, so we're gonna work out an afternoon. 1, 2, 3 o'clock. Okay.
Yeah, 1 o'clock is good, I guess. So that would be 12 o'clock your time. So.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. No, it's the other way. So
I'm Eastern.
Yeah. So 1 p.m. would be 12 my time. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that'll work. Could you please email me so I have your email so we can communicate without going through a chat?
Yeah.
And
you
YouTube?
can put the email in a private chat if you would like.
Oh, yeah. Let me put it in private chat. Hang on a second here. And then I got to get out of here. Oh, where's private chat? Okay. Hang on a second. Let me go find it again. It's too long to type. Oh, where am I? Trying to find me. Okay, more. It's actually, right on my site, right at the top. The very best way to email me is my personal email. So I'll give you that. And then I can put you in my YouTube favorite folder, and I'll have it.
Gary Olson.
And, okay, my friend is calling. I gotta go.
All right, then. Talk to you later,
Bye.
Mike. Thank you. We'll we can just end it. Jim Bob is reviewing the Jay Dyer stream.
Yeah, I was watching it, and then I came over here. I saw this was on. It came over. That's why I said, "Is this a Twilight Zone?"
I know. It's kind of awesome, huh? How it all worked out.
Yeah, very weird.
But
I get too frustrated. I can't listen to that nonsense.
Well, I think that it's fine if you're patient with it, because if you're really listening to what he's saying, he answers in his own way, and he brings out the problems in his own way. Because I was trying to listen to his explanation, and it becomes a game of like pointing out the smuggles, which, you know, he was saying, you're calling me a smuggler, because he wants to talk about will, and then he brings in mind, and he says, well, you wanted to bring in mind. It's like, no, well, you brought in mind. So now
I know. He's bickering. He switches back and forth between the immaterial world and the physical world, and when he gets called on it, he starts bickering.
Well, I think that it's valuable if someone's listening to just, you know, just have a calm conversation, because if he's going to continue to bring in immaterial concepts, that's just more, quote, material to work with. So I'm fine with it, really, because I think even if you go back and listen to that, there's quite a bit there, and it's circular. It's ultimately circular. It's nominalism, just naming different things but never really accounting for them.
Right, but don't you get tired of hearing him go do it over and over and over?
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't talk to him that often, so, you know.
And the other thing, you know, they all just trashed Christianity on their channel. It just all came together and was too irritating for me.
No, I mean, you're fine. I think you're helpful, but then maybe you got a little bit too irritated. But
yeah, I definitely got too irritated.
I think when I talk to you and that you have good explanations, it's just a matter of not getting irritated. Sometimes you can just let them talk it out, and like I really am trying to listen to what he's saying. Because in doing that,
it's dishonest. I think he's just got practice distractory things to go down. But maybe I'm paranoid.
Well, no, the value in that and listening to it is like, if someone is being dishonest or even self-deceived, if you're really following them and you don't have their worldview, you know, you can say, well, wait a second, you just told me not to bring in mind. And then when I asked what the will is, what material it is, you had to bring in mind.
I know that's
so that, I mean, it's not a huge climactic moment, but that tends to be the way these conversations go when people are listening and people are being calm about it. Other people, observers, can say, yeah, he just contradicted himself, or he's just going in a circle. And you know, I think that's what makes it worthwhile. But maybe having you on here helps give me a calmer perspective too when I'm talking to him. So don't, you know, I think it's valuable for you to participate. And if you're getting irritated, you know, you can just back off if you want to. But I appreciate you coming in.
Yeah. Well, it was, you know, I'll recover.
Yeah, you'll be fine. I would still like to go over Jay Dyer's video with him now that we've both seen it, and now that we got Jim Bob on there, it just makes it much easier, because Jim Bob and Jay Dyer are in line, and we're pretty much in line with their conceptual thinking as well. So if we get back on here with, say, Mike and Captain's Desk and go over what Jim Bob did, I don't think it's a problem at all. I think it'll be easy for us. And if they're going to go in a circle, if you know, you're going to see it as nonsense, I think you just point it out. And, you know, I think once you start saying it's nonsense, you know, it's like you're refusing God, then it steers it into a different direction, because now he's on the defense, right?
Yeah.
Not that it's not valid, but it's just a choice of words, I think. But,
yeah. Well, Jim Bob's brutal, just brutal.
Well, I know, that's what I mean. Like I was siding with Mike, saying this is, you know, it's unnecessary for him to imitate.
It is unnecessary. It is unnecessary.
He's just an entertainer, and
yeah, but he has over 500 people watching the show, so you know.
Well, that's pretty brutal for Mike. Is I was trying to be compassionate to Mike, because he was trying to talk to Eric, and then we popped on this stream out of nowhere, was unexpected. Now he's having to listen to some guy imitate his voice with 500 people watching. I imagine that's kind of stressful for him, even if.
And then he gets me yelling at him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I apologize.
I think you're fine. I think Mike's pretty thick-skinned, but yeah, we gotta give a shout out to Mike for enduring that
Yeah, I'm
enduring that
telling you,
random episode. So, but he's willing to talk about these things, so it's cool. But yeah, my day's been all messed up anyway, so I got to get off of here. We were supposed to do this in the morning. The internet was out.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll see you again. Thanks for coming on.
Alrighty. Take care.
Take care, brother. God bless. And thanks to the participants in the side chat here too. I got to get out of here. So again, thanks, Mike, for coming on. Kind of a eventful day for you. You got a stream going on about you. Maybe you can come back, and I see you there too, Captain Desk, and we can go over Jim Bob if you want to. I think it would be helpful because obviously there's a lot in that presentation by Jay Dyer. There's a lot there to hash out. So, and I've listened to it multiple times. It's not an easy listen, really, when you really try to take on what's happening there. So, again, I gotta get out of here. Thanks, guys. Grace and peace to you.